Hello today. I'm going to talk about the experience of working for Royal Caribbean Cruise Line. I worked for Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines for 6 years, so I want to tell people the pros and cons of working for any cruise line. So I will start with the pros. First and foremost, you get to travel and see the world for free. I had the chance to be around beautiful countries like Egypt, Turkey, Grand Cayman, Spain, Italy, France, the Caribbean, the US, South America. So that's a great thing that you get to travel for free. Another thing that is a positive thing about working for any cruise line is that you get to save a lot of money because the cruise lines pay for your accommodation and for your food, so you have no expenses whatsoever. And the most important one, for me at least, is that you get to meet people from all over the world, as in general you will be working with people from 63 to 65 different nationalities. That is a very nice thing to do, as you get to know people from different parts of the world and understand their cultures that I didn't even was aware of how different they were from mine until I started living with them. The drawback of working for Royal Caribbean or any cruise line is that the work, the schedule, the work hours are really intense. You work Sunday through Sunday, 10 hours a day, so it's really exhausting. Also, when you first get to the ship, you are assigned to your cabin. The cabins are really tiny, and you share your space with a roommate. So if you don't get along with your roommate, it's really hard because the quarters where you live are very tiny. Whatever department you're at, you're always working under a military structure. So your cabin gets inspected once a week. You have to do a boat drill once a week, so you cannot get off in port. That could be, if you're not used to the military life, that could be really stressful. There's a lot of rules also regarding the dress code. There's a lot of things that you're not allowed to wear or to do in guest areas. So it's like you're all the time under a lot of stress, under a lot of pressure, as their supervisor observing you, watching you, and anything that you do wrong, they write it up and they send an email to your supervisor, and then you get a warning. It could be a verbal or a written warning, depending how serious the offense is. Another thing that is very stressful is if you are going through a storm, because the guests get really upset, they get seasick, so you have to know how to handle with this situation. You have to be very calm. Of course, you get all these kind of trainings to manage crowd control and to be able to assist guests in case of an emergency, but that is something that can be really stressful. Another drawback is the food. Unless you decide to spend money out in port and eat outside, the food is quite boring, to call it in a certain way. They always serve the same kind of food over and over again, so you are doing a contract for 6 months, and after a while you get tired of eating the same food. And they cook food towards the nationalities that have the most percentage of people. So, for example, I'm from Argentina. There were not very many Argentinians working on board, so I didn't get to have the food that I like from my country. But all in all, it's a great experience if you're young, if you want to travel. I wouldn't say that it's a job that you would do it for the rest of your life. It's just an experience, but as such, I think that it's a great experience, and I'm glad that I had that experience, as I learned a lot from different cultures, and I met great people that today they are my friends, and one of them is my husband.